any of us
Okay.
and eat the actual pepper.
Oh man. Oh, I'm a ultimate warrior.
So is it hot yet or is it just gross?
Oh, it's just gross.
Oh, he swallowed it. We got the first swallow. Wait. Oh boy. This is a much darker episode of Habanero Hot Takes. I am your god and your friend. Crab baskets! They saw 2 pieces in Marco Scandella and Zach Krakowiak, getting themselves a second round spot.
Here they are.
That's right. Welcome back to another episode of Habanero Hot Takes on the Raging Buffalo. Merry Crimbus, everybody! Because this is not just the second episode of Habanero Hot Takes. This is the revenge show, baby. Why? Because I am Derek Kramer, and today I am your host. Because last time...
Oh God, get it down.
What?
Our first episode, our maiden voyage.
Somebody screamed a certain kind of sentence that it didn't happen, but it was still pretty enjoyable stuff there. So today, thanks to the drafting of John Simon in our last episode when we talked with Mark Schofield with the Bills and the Patriots game, we also did our draft of this second episode. So to my left, I've got a man here whose pepper matches his hair color. It is
Yes.
Lucas Buckley.
Good omens. Good omens.
To my far right, I've got the second most candid personality here, and definitely the one that swears the most. His name is Zachary Jones.
Yeah, let's go.
Zach's already got a fan favorite, and to my closest to my right is the originator of this idea of Habanero Hot Takes, and my greatest form of revenge today, it's Scott Gattie.
I made this bet, I'm gonna land it.
So,
Asshole.
so, welcome again. This is Habanero Hot Takes. These are the peppers. So, everyone, all these gentlemen, they have one of these with them, but we're not going to get into that right away. Why? This is still a sports debate show. So at the end of the day, we're going to talk some sports to get everybody warmed up before they start choking on their own spit. And today, we're going with the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh no.
These Sabres... Oh,
So I can put away my soccer scarf? Okay.
Lucas is like, why? Why'd you do this? So, guys, the Sabres currently are sitting at 1 point out of the playoffs. They are pretty much looking like, in my opinion, the team that they were supposed to be this year.
Yes.
They are going to compete for a playoff spot. We don't know ultimately if they will or will not make it. The roster freeze will be ending soon at the turn of the year. So that means that the Sabres could try to trade one of their 14 defensemen. So, Zach, I'm going to start with you.
Thanks, bud. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be here. Don't worry about it. Like, you can stare at that thing and it's going to psych you out all the time. Don't worry about it because I am the doctor of your pepper today.
Oh yes.
Too jazzed up. Ready.
So, Zach, based on the expectations of this team so far this season, what do you suspect is something that the Sabres really, like, what is their biggest weakness at this point on this roster?
I think it's going to sound kind of cliche. I think we all know it. It's pretty much anyone scoring outside of Jack Eichel. I think that's really been the biggest thing is we need someone that isn't a rookie, i.e. Victor Olofsson, someone like Skinner who underwhelming in his second stint with Buffalo, or second year, I'm sorry, with Buffalo.
He's hitting that skid like he did last year.
He's hitting that skid, so hopefully he'll bounce back now that we're going into January. But I think that's really just the big thing is that they need secondary scoring. They need that other player that on a night maybe Eichel doesn't score 2 or 3 points. This guy can pop off and get to himself, and that's something that we're very sorely missing.
All right, so Scott, this Sabres team, they really were not expected to do too much this year based on the fact that they returned a lot of the same players and brought in some decent rookies like a Victor Olofsson, for example, and then they traded for a couple of extra defensemen like a Henry Jokiharju, our Finnish prince. Scott, addition-wise, you want to see some of these sorts of things, but the defensive rotation is really looking like one of the coolest things that they're doing, trying to make sure that they keep everybody intact and with ice time. What are your opinions on Kruger using that 11 forward, 7 defensemen on a rather frequent basis?
I'm fully on board, honestly, with whatever he does. I think especially with him being in his first year, it's not really something we should necessarily have to worry about. And maybe this is sort of reiterated a little bit from when he was first hired, but it's just good to have someone that does something in a different way in the old guard of Buffalo coaching, of former Buffalo players, of like sort of getting stuck in that kind of rut, as much as it may have initially been like good idea or like in favor from fans. It's bad because it still gets us stuck in where we've always been, and the best way to get out of it is to do something different, and this is nothing else if something different. So if anyone has passed this year, it's going to be obviously Kruger being in his first year and trying new things, and this is how you learn what might work at this kind of level of hockey. I'm not even worried about a lot of the other stuff. I think that Boswell can take care of a lot of his stuff in the offseason, even if he doesn't do anything close to the deadline. I think that can help shore up any additional scoring after Jack Eichel contends for the Hart.
Yeah,
we say?
yeah. Oh, easily at this point.
And is the only non-goalie Sabre to ever win if that comes to pass.
That would be pretty cool. Luke,
Yes.
the defensive rotation has been there, but one frustrating aspect of that was the acquisition of Colin Miller has kind of blown up in their face a little bit.
Yes.
Constantly being put into the press box.
Indeed.
So, in order to fix that situation, obviously a trade needs to come about, but looking at that group as a whole, the defensive core, what have your impressions been about the Sabres defense thus far?
About the defense as a whole, much improved over last year, actually. Marco Scandella has not nearly been the blight that
Don't
we
forget,
thought.
we are on camera, so
Play
make sure
the
to
camera
look
a
at
bit.
them too. Yeah,
Play the camera a bit, yeah.
Make sure to look at them too. You know?
Marco Scandella has not been the plate, if you will, that we thought he was going to be. Ristolainen has really impressed me too. He hasn't been dreadful. The first 10, 15 games or so of the season, he had some really bad plays where he continually turned the puck over beneath the goal line and it led to goals. Dahlin, since his concussion, he's come back and he's been last year's Rasmus Dahlin, in my opinion. He had a very good game against the Islanders, a very good return game as well. He looks like a different Rasmus Dahlin. He looks like the Dahlin of last year, as I alluded to. Yoki Harju has just been brilliant. He's just the NHLer that the team has needed, whereas it's not a guy who can just as easily fluctuate out of any other team's lineup or out of the league between the AHL and NHL. He actually looks like a defenseman and a player who belongs in the league. So I've been impressed. It hasn't been nearly as big a problem as I thought it was going to be, and plus the offense is actually a bigger problem than the defense.
Mm-hmm. Now that leads me to my next discussion, because you actually kind of already hinted at it. Guys, I want your top 3 most improved Sabres from this season. And we'll start over here.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you did kind of get this conversation started for me.
Are we each doing 3?
Yeah, each of you pick 3. If they're the same 3, it's okay, because some people really have taken expectations of who they were last year, for example, and skyrocketed them through the roof.
Okay, well, number 1, I'm going to go with Linus Ullmark, who has become the de facto starter. Just a whole lot better than last year. He has been head and shoulders above Hutton, especially recently. 2, I want to go with Johan Larsson, though it's not necessarily more improved because, like, a couple years ago when he broke his ankle, I believe,
He was looking really good.
2017, that was the Johan Larsson that was my favorite player.
Yes.
Then the next year came around, I think when in 17-18, and the world hated him again. And then the next
Including
year,
his coach. What was his defensive starts?
Wait, what's that?
What was his defensive starts? Like, pretty much like they were starting him out on the D zone the whole time.
Right.
Like that's like his coach hated him at that point.
Right. And now with that line, obviously how good they are in the offensive zone. I mean, being utilized different at least. And then 3rd, I had to think about this one for a moment. I want to stay on that line and go with Zemgus Girgensons. Because this is a guy, I mean, he's scoring on a semi-consistent basis on the bottom line. His game defensively has just transformed. It's been transcendent compared to last season. But yeah, those are my 3. Two-thirds of the log line, and then one of the goaltenders.
All right, Zach, I'm going to shoot it over to you now on this with your 3 most improved Sabres.
I'm also going to start with Linus Allmark. He's going to be at 3 for me, though, just because, he's
I
absolutely...
mean, Porter doesn't really matter in this.
I went top to bottom.
This is more just going to be just the 3 players, but Linus Allmark, literally for the exact same reasons. He's completely overtaken the goaltending position. He is the clear-cut starter, at least for this point. A lot of that is due to Hutton having very bad play, but Allmark has been very, very good. Number 2, I am also going to go with Johan Larsson, just because that log line has been amazing, even during our early run where we all were like, oh, holy shit, we're like really good. The log line
before the pepper.
the log line was really a big part of that, and Larsson was the young guy on that, and really kind of one of the main cogs of that. And even now when he's playing with Skinner, that's gone somewhat well. Skinner's kind of having a rut, but Skinner seems to enjoy playing with him, and Larsson has looked much better. And then finally, and while most improved, I'm really just going to say he is now 100% hitting his potential, and that is Jack Eichel. He has gone from just a very, very good player to great player in the league, and now this year he is 100% a top 5 player in the league, a Hart Trophy contender. We will probably have this for a number of years. And now he's essentially carrying a franchise.
You're basically saying his ascension is worth putting on there.
I fully believe so, because it really has been one of those things where he's fully 100% carrying a franchise on his back with career highs.
I mean that's that 17-game point streak,
Yes.
the 18-game personal streak, which was dumb garbage. I mean, basically, it's still an 18-point streak before it got broken by the strangest of teams.
We can't win on the road. We can't do it.
No, they're actually awful on the road
Yeah,
this year.
we can't do it.
Scott, I'm seeing a surprising amount of Ullmark and Larsson here, which leaves you the chance to really be the contrarian in all of this.
In a sense, I will be, and in a sense, I won't be.
It's actually pretty easy to be in this case.
Well, at the very least, I do want to agree on all the points of Eichel that he's sort of tended to be exactly what we expected him to be. I'm not going to get into the tank debate right now. I was about to say what we tanked for, but that's...
This is a pro-tank podcast. You can say it.
Honestly, it's neither here nor there, but he has
He's
come
here.
into his own amazingly so, and if not for Nate McKinnon, definitely deserves the Hart Trophy.
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely going to agree with the points on Johan Larsson as well. How is this man not more popular in Buffalo? As much as we love our grit grinders, as much as we love our Pat Colettas and puck possession guys, he's like that, but good. It's easy, folks.
Right.
Get on the train. I'm actually not going to include Linus Ullmark. Maybe I'm still just stuck in my ways that both goaltenders are warming the seats for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That is still just of my philosophy. But I will stick with Zemgus Girgensons, and maybe that may be my own personal bias of still having a warm spot for him. My parents having seasons, so I had to sit through the points where Zemgus Girgensons was by default the best player on the team. Those
are good.
Those
are good years.
The point was that they weren't supposed to be good years, but they were there, and I do love that Zemgot has found a good role of his own. A little bit of irony in the nickname, for sure.
All right, so those are your 3 then? They're gonna
Yeah,
be
Girgensons,
Eichel.
in no particular order, Girgensons, Larsson, and Eichel.
I'm a little surprised. There was no mention of Marco Scandella, who has gone from get out of my team to being part of the pair that I can actually trust the most defensively on the ice, along with Henri Jokiharju. There was a brief mention of Rasmus Ristolainen before the topic came up.
Yes.
And he has really looked like, quite frankly, he's playing his best hockey at a time where the Sabres have looked at him as a trade piece. And I would really like to say that those are names that could and, quite frankly, should have been mentioned in this conversation. Those 2 on the defensive core have been fantastic. I do like the inclusion of Linus Ullmark, though. I think that having him kind of be stabilizing the 1A role predominantly and being able to actually keep you in games that you shouldn't have been in more times than not. Carter Hutton can't buy a win at this point, so what's Ullmark doing? He's getting them. And sometimes it's through stronger goal support, but at the same time, Hutton has been allowing a lot of goals lately, and you need someone in your net that you can trust a little bit more in, say, the second half of a back-to-back, for example, and you want to be able to put him in when you know the team's going to be a little more tired than usual. But I think that the omissions of Ristolainen and Scandella are a little bit of a shock to me here, I'm going to say, quite frankly. Gentlemen, based on your 3 choices, by the way, I'm going to rank in inverse order who eats the friggin' pepper first.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Zach, good news. You're going to suffer the least.
Good.
Why?
I'm eating now.
Damn it.
Anybody that knows me at this point knows that I have an irrational hatred of Zemgus Girgensons.
Derek Kramer revenge game.
Derek Kramer revenge game is full and healthy today. But Zach is the one that did not have Girgensons on his list. So congratulations, you're going last. Woo!
Okay.
Unless I have a volunteer as tribute first.
To go first?
Yes.
I'll do it.
You're just going to Leroy Jenkins?
I want to go first. Eating the pepper first. That's what
Now,
we're talking about here.
I need
That's what we're
somebody.
talking about.
I need somebody's phone because
Yeah.
mine is being used. I need the Sabres schedule because the discussion is going to be this. Looking at the Sabres schedule, I'm going to give you the phone and let you look at the schedule.
Okay.
Will the Sabres be buyers at the deadline? And if they are, what is the piece that they are going to try to acquire?
Okay.
I have the Sabres schedule there in front of you.
Well, so the Sabres, when this thing loads, okay, so the Sabres have a pair against the Boston Bruins coming out of the break. And then it's not the easiest of games out of the gate. Tampa Bay, Edmonton, Florida, who you always struggle with, and the Blues and Canucks. That's your next most recent stretch of games. Knowing this now, do the Sabres become buyers near or at the trade deadline? Hit them with it.
All right. So here we go. How big of a bite?
First off, you gotta nail the whole thing. Like, just crunch that SOB.
Jesus
If you
Christ.
don't
Okay.
eat it, I'm not going to blame you. Peppers are gross. Personally, I remember this.
Oh,
The
yeah.
yeet bucket is to your right.
Okay.
So if it is too gross for you to consume, that's great. But you know what you need to do? Give me at least 5 solid crunches so that
Oh.
you feel the effect.
Okay.
Okay? Here we go.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
3, 2, 1. Oh, eat the whole.
Oh,
you gotta eat the whole thing, man. Get out of the way.
There you go.
Go.
You
Oh.
do.
It's all now.
Oh.
It's all there. You just gotta start chewing now.
Yeah, you just run with it.
It's all right.
Hurry.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh.
There's the crunch.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a little nasty.
If you want to be a bigger man than any of us,
Okay.
and eat the
Whoa.
actual pepper.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm the ultimate warrior.
So is it hot yet or is it just gross?
Oh, it's just gross. Oh, here we go. Let's go. Okay.
Look
Wow.
at the camera, baby. Here we go. Are the Sabres a buyer?
No.
Simple enough.
Oh, and that's what makes this easier for me. Ah, dear God. Woo. Okay, no.
Oh, there it is. There
Oh.
it is.
Oh, do I have to keep defending my take?
Yes, you do.
No. Because, oh, we're going to be sellers. Oh, my God. We're going to be sellers at the deadline. Oh, I'm like Bernie Sanders now. I feel it in my ears. Hold on.
Don't drink the water. Don't drink the water. It'll spread it. It'll spread it. Don't drink the water.
Oh, my God. What do I do?
Look at the panic. The panic.
Oh, my God.
Have some
Have a
holiday
cookie.
cookies.
Oh, there was still some pepper
Oh.
there.
Oh, God.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but it can't be worse than
It's a
butter.
bread form, so that might help a little bit. All right.
So we're gonna be sellers.
So we're going to be sellers at the deadline, let alone not buyers. All right, Lars, I know you're down there. I need you to go ahead and acquire the milk for Lucas. 'cause
Oh my God.
This is hitting him hard. Now, this was... Say hi to Lars, everyone. All right, so Lars, so you were saying that they're going to be sellers instead of buyers, pretty much a total opposite of the
Oh.
question. And hang in there, buddy.
Oh.
Your milk is coming. So there it is. Luke has gone ahead and said that they are not buyers, let alone they are going to be selling something off. I'd imagine, give me a thumbs up or thumb down on the names that I'm going to list for you. Jake and Kay.
Oh,
Zach Pagoda.
oh, yeah.
Oh, you're crying.
Marco Scandella.
Yeah.
Do you think they get at least a second round pick out of any of those?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh!
All right. Any forwards do you think that they will end up selling?
Connor Sherry
Okay.
and Jimmy VC.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Your suffering is over, Luke. You're going to feel much better right now.
Yo, what the hell, man?
Oh my God. Listen, you would have every right to call me an asshole.
it's like the
if I
hot
wasn't
breath.
doing this too.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right.
That's a good point.
Luke, congrats on being a good sport. Nicely done.
Thank you.
That was, honestly,
That was passion.
I hate to say it, but that escalated from 0 to 60 so masterfully.
I went from really
That
close
was,
to really high.
yeah, you went from really gross, and then it smacked you hard.
Yeah.
So, all right.
That was great.
That was grit and tenacity. Just like, as Scott mentioned, Buffalo loves that out of their people. So give a nice little smile for everybody at home there, Luke. You did it. There we go. There we go.
Dude, I'm a finesse team player. What the
Tack.
hell?
Stick tappies. All right. So, Scott, I was going to make you the second person as a form of having Gergensons on here.
Mm-hmm.
But since I already gave Luke the milk right away, I think I might make you go last.
Dude. Why?
Because the revenge.
It's the psych out.
I don't know.
The psych.
So, you know what I'm going to do?
I feel like with your on-the-fly decisions like this, you're psyching both of us out equally.
Welcome to the game.
Oh my God.
These are the psych.
No, you had Gergensons on
Oh.
here. Go. Same question. Are the Sabres buyers at the trade deadline, and could they make the postseason? They're 1 point out of a playoff spot. 3, 2, 1. Hit them with it. Eat bucket to your left.
There you go. You're doing so good.
Oh, there it is.
It's all a mental game.
Oh, did he?
There you go. There you go.
Oh, he swallowed it.
Ah.
We got the first
Oh.
swallow. Wait.
They're not doing shit.
I can smell it. Jesus. Whew. Why did I do this last time? What the hell's wrong with me? There you go.
Oh, let's see if there was Polish food.
Don't shoot the garbage can.
Oh, that's the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
The idea that I'm going fast.
Oh my God, I'm gonna die.
All right, hang in there. Congrats on actually consuming the pepper, by the way. Did it come at a personal cost?
Ah! My throat is on fire.
He's seeing everything now.
Yes. Oh boy.
Don't.
All right.
Oh,
Milk him.
it's gonna be a mild off season.
Oh boy. Woo. Carry on.
Gargle it. There you go.
Yep, there you go, there you go. Jesus.
Ah. They're gonna make a couple little moves that nobody's gonna think is doing anything.
Holy shit.
Oh.
It's gonna be kind of like the Bills.
Fuck. Holy shit.
I'm not eating.
This is so much uglier than last episode. All right, buddy.
Ah.
You might need a cookie. You might need bread. Here you go. Did you buy
I
horse?
feel like I can't swallow. Oh, it doesn't help.
Doesn't?
Oh my God.
Man, to think that I survived.
Fuck.
All right.
How you holding up there, buddy? Better?
Oh.
I don't want to talk. It's
Neither do I.
warm air Oh my God.
All right.
Pagula got a Sabres GM with the same philosophy as the Bills GM. A couple folks are going to be surprised this next year. Honestly, it kind of doesn't matter. Kind of doesn't matter if the Sabres make the playoffs this year.
You think he's going to stick around, though? Okay. Man, this rocked Scott pretty hard. And now Zach is looking at these two things that have happened, knowing that he's going to be up next. Maybe you should not have. Maybe you should have taken that invitation, because now the psych out is real. Now it's there. All right, the originator. I'm gonna let him be done here. If you don't mind passing this along. Congratulations, by the way, on actually swallowing the pepper.
I'm not doing that.
Don't.
I'm not gonna do that.
That is evidence. Not required. Not required anymore for future episodes.
Told you. I was responsible for this, so I might as well.
I respect it. I felt
like I had to.
All right. Well,
What's my question? I blanked out there.
it's the
20
same
minutes.
question. It is. Are the Sabres buyers at the deadline?
Are they buyers at the deadline?
Are they buyers at the deadline? Can they make the playoffs?
Oh my God! All right. Okay, here we go.
Your heat bucket. You have it.
I got it. It's
Okay.
I don't want anyone to look me in the eyes.
Here we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh shit.
Oh boy. This is a much darker episode of Habanero
So-
Hot Takes.
I'm gonna go a little different. I'm gonna say the Sabres are gonna be buyers at the deadline. But here's the thing: they're not making the fucking playoffs. That's not happening. That is not gonna happen. We're gonna try to figure it out. And really, what's gonna help is the fact that we have Bogosian wants to trade. Miller feels ostracized. Oh, oh, fuck me, dude.
Our division is shitty enough. We can sneak in at the 8. And
We're getting a
playoffs are-
Habanero discussion.
Oh no, I know the dynamic's terrible, but
Playoffs are a total crapshoot. 8 seeds can make a run. Oilers
it's fair.
in 06. Kings. In,
We're getting a Habanero discussion.
I don't care what fucking year it was. The Kings did it one time.
I can't see. Oh, I took out my glasses. So yeah, I'm gonna say we're buyers. We're not gonna make the playoffs. But when I'm saying we're buyers, though, we are gonna move some pieces. Obviously, the defense, Bogosian, Miller sadly could be up there. Oh, McCabe, if he didn't have the A on his fucking jersey, god damn it. Can I have a milk? I can see it. I can't grab it. It's so far. Oh man, that does actually hurt.
Yeah, it starts to hurt.
So
I should have gave you guys some pro tips on this one. Focus it on one side of your mouth, the crunch, so you don't have to deal with all of it.
I dealt with all of it.
Oh, you dealt with all of it.
all right, I feel great. So basically,
You also ate half a pepper, but I'm not.
oh, it's back. Oh my god.
I'm never doing this shit again.
No, I get it.
So yeah,
It was a good run while it lasted.
we're gonna be buyers at the deadline, not making the playoffs. I just don't like the talent on this team right now on a lower level, outside of like 3 or 4 guys, and then defense kind of likewise 3 or 4 guys that I like. Goaltending situation the same. I like Allmark, but it really just now it feels like it's gonna be a placeholder. We're kind of waiting, which is why I think Botterill still has a job, so the team knows we're not competing yet, no matter what moves we make.
If you have placeholders at the deadline and try to trade them for guys, that's just for temporary runs. We're like, we're not banking on runs right now. We're trying to build something more long term. I assume that can only be what Pagula hired Botterill for. Even though anybody hired Embiid for.
That's what I'm saying.
One Buffalo and all that bullshit.
But like that's something is like, like they're gonna buy technically. It's gonna be one of those technically things.
Do you see a potential like Brandon Montour, except for a forward type of trade,
Possibly, I think that's kind of the move they like to make. Is that something like that where we're gonna wait,
where it actually
A
helps
building
the
for
team?
the future kind of
building
buy.
for the future kind
Yeah.
of buying move where like we sell technically, but all Sabres fans will leave
But
going.
you
I
want
love the moves we
you expect
made.
them possibly to look at getting a piece for the team. All right, Guys, this one has taken a far worse turn than the first episode.
That's
So
stupid.
this was very stupid.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, America. And good news, I see some milk left in Lucas Buckley's
Someone
Yes.
hurt you.
milk. So guess what?
What?
Why are you doing that?
Fuck it, me.
Oh,
I am
spare yourself.
I am your god and your friend.
Spare yourself, master.
Bro.
This is so
How much did he eat? I didn't see it. I can't
It's
see
like
it.
a bite, about as much as you did.
You can have it. My ears
Bro.
are all kinds of fucked up.
Oh! Crab baskets.
So,
So ready? Same question.
even though we're building.
Woo! All right. Sabres are absolutely going to be buyers at the trade deadline, despite the fact that they still have two pieces in Marco Scandella and Zach Bogosian, getting themselves a second-round fuck. Why did I do this?
You're doing so good, bud. You're doing so good.
I'm seeing you guys suffer. I cannot do this. You guys cannot do this.
Real recognize real, man.
Real recognize real. Nice job, you asshole. So the Buffalo Sabres at about 3 weeks before the trade deadline are going to take that second round pick that they get from Marco Scandella.
Oh my
Cookie.
So,
And they get Jason Zucker from the Minnesota Wild.
Okay.
hell?
Oh, why did I do it?
Yeah, why'd you pick Jason Zucker?
Oh.
Woo! All right. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, no, this does not help. The cookies were useless.
I was just about to reach for one. Damn it.
Oh, and unlike you guys, I'm not drinking milk. All right, so I think that the Buffalo Sabres want to try to get that bigger top six piece, but
No, oh my god.
yeah. But at the same time, ow!
Hands are shaking. Okay, Jason Zucker.
They're gonna get a guy like Jason Zucker, but I think that the top six piece is an NHL draft kind of move, not an NHL trade deadline kind of move. At the end of the day, I think the Sabres ultimately fail to make it to the playoffs. I'm calling my shot. They get to about 5 points away from the playoff line before they are ultimately eliminated and cannot make the NHL postseason. Thank you for watching Habanero Hot Takes. That is Lucas Buckley. Tell him where to follow you on the Twitters.
Yes, it's at LVKETCB. It's Luke with a V. 'Cause the U one was taken naturally. So TCB at the end, too. So
Mother of gods.
Follow me on Twitter at ZacharyJones198. I make a bunch of shithead talks on Twitter on Sunday.
Scott doesn't have a Twitter.
Don't follow me. If you follow me, unfollow me.
That's a great line.
I'm at Derek Kramer 49, and I've been your host today. Also eating. I don't care that this is gonna hurt.
Oh, God.
Actually, that was strangely effective.
Yeah, I'm close to good now.
Give me a minute.
No, I'm
Give me a
talking
minute.
about the Dr. Pepper was strangely effective. I thought pop sucked for this sort of thing.
He's,
Yeah, see.
Thank you guys for watching.
I think they're wondering what's going on out there.
Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. You guys are the best. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. Go Sabres. Happy New Year. Fuck off.
Ray John.